All right, welcome everybody. I wanted to go ahead and get the meeting started. Our fall welcome event for the incoming um, 20 fall 2020 incoming college scholar students. My name is Don Bard. I am working for the UCSC Office of Campus Advising Coordination. Um, my particular role is to help coordinate undergraduate honors programs and undergraduate research opportunities here on campus. And we're waiting for the faculty director of honors, David Draper, to join us shortly. But in the meantime, I wanted to let people know that there is a link to the College Scholar bios slide presentation. This slide presentation is a slide for each of the students that have been able to fill out a short description of their biography, including a photo and in most cases a GIF that expresses their feelings about starting here at UCSC this fall. Please feel free to go through those slides. Not all of the college scholars have filled out a bio slide, but many have. The slides are organized by college. And for the incoming fall cohort, each of the incoming college scholars is affiliated with one of the four colleges: Crown, Cowell, Merrill, or Porter. So the slides are organized by college. We're fortunate to have a number of the provosts, the faculty provosts of those colleges. And when David joins us, he'll go ahead and introduce. And I think David is here.
And that would be now. All right. Thank you, Don. Let me share screen on the little slide presentation I've created. Let me first confirm with Don and Jack, does the slide presentation window look good?
Yes, it's there.
Okay,
thank you.
Great. So as Don mentioned, I'm David Draper. I'm the faculty director of the UCSC campus-wide undergraduate honors program, including the College Scholars program. And we are here today to welcome the fall start students. And we also are lucky to have some second year CSP students as well, who can do a little bit of mentoring of the first year students later on in the program. So welcome, please. I'm as I mentioned, the faculty director. Let's use CSP as the abbreviation for College Scholars program here. Personally, I'm a professor of statistics and data science in the Baskin School of Engineering. And my applied work has mostly been in medicine and health policy and e-commerce. I've been the director for only a bit more than a year. And last year's in-person event, as you could imagine, was quite different, including the opportunity to offer all of you food, which is not so easy, Zoom pizza. But we've adapted most of what was there last year in such a way that the important content is preserved today. And so before we move into the main agenda, actually, let me say something else. I worked for some years in the 1980s and early 90s at a research institute in Southern California called the RAND Corporation, helping out in health policy things. And there is a RAND Corporation briefing style, which is so good that I'm going to mention it now, and I think you'll agree that it can help you in the talks you give as well. And basically, it goes like this. When you're building a talk for an audience, first, you tell them what you're going to tell them. Then you tell them what you want to tell them. And then you tell them what you told them. So basically, this is the tell them what you're going to tell them part of this presentation. I'm going to go through the agenda and describe what's coming, and then I'll pass back to Dawn to progress the agenda. So first, let's talk about the netiquette of this meeting. So here are some netiquette requests for you. Please mute yourself during the all participants parts of this meeting, except when one of the people leading the meeting calls on you. At that point, you can unmute and briefly say what you want and need to say, and then mute yourself again. Secondly, please make sure your name and your pronouns, if you'd like, in the participants window are visible. Thirdly, we welcome you to have your webcam on throughout the meeting, but especially when speaking and saying hello to others. Fourthly, please use the chat respectfully when you share your questions and affirmations and thoughts. In particular, please avoid making off-topic chats. We encourage you to practice active listening by limiting your distractions and committing to monotasking as best you can. And if you step away to take a break, please keep your mics and cameras off, but keep your Zoom application open. And then remember to turn on any relevant features that you turned off once you return. And all questions are, of course, welcome. Okay, a few minutes from now, the next agenda item will be welcome and introductions of key CSP faculty and staff. And here's a table of all of the people from whom we expect to hear today, with the exception that we just learned from Gerald Cassell, Provost of Porter College, a few minutes ago, that he's unable to participate. So I'm not, at this point, inviting these people to unmute and talk. I'm just going to run down the list of the people from whom we expect to hear and in Don's part of the program. So Elizabeth Abrams, Provost of Merrill in Affiliation and Writing Program. David Bernick, Seminar Instructor, Biomolecular Engineering. Manel Camps, Provost of Crown College, Academic Affiliation, Microbiology and Environmental Toxicology. Ben Leeds Carson, Provost of Kresge College, Music. And Alan Christie, Provost of Cal College, History. David Lau, Seminar Instructor, College 9. Nada, I'm afraid I have not learned how to pronounce your last name. Could you unmute and tell us how it is pronounced?
Milkovich.
Ah, great, Milkovich. It sounds Serbian as in origin. Is it Serbian?
Yes, I am Serbian. Serbo-American,
oh,
thanks.
Serbo-American, yes, fantastic. Then Matt O'Hara. Nada is a seminar instructor, Crown College. Matt O'Hara, Provost of Stevenson College, History. Peter Rothman, Seminar Instructor from Crown College, and Kiva Silver, Seminar Instructor, Stevenson College. And then we have on our staff today, Don Bard, whom you've met already. He's the Undergraduate Honors and Research Opportunities Coordinator. And I'm not sure if Stacy is able to join us today. She's another important part of the CSP program. She's Assistant Vice Provost for Undergraduate Advising. And once they are named later on, when Don is taking over, each of these people will appear on your screen, either as real-time videos of themselves or as avatars, to welcome you and make a few remarks about their course or their college or whatever. We are not able to have Richard Huey today. He was unfortunately unable to join us. He's an important person to undergraduates. He's the Vice Provost and Director of Undergraduate Education on campus. And his academic affiliation is, he's a colleague of mine in engineering, computer science and engineering. And the next item after those welcome and introductions will be the program overview and expectations, including a Q&A session, as Don mentioned briefly a moment ago. And during this item, Don will describe the main aspects of the program including both your privileges and responsibilities as students in the program. We offer you opportunities, but we ask of you certain responsibilities in return, and Don will be outlining those things. Then after Don speaks, there'll be an opportunity for you to ask questions and make comments and get answers. And the way you can do that is to bring up a question or comment at any time during his presentation, and also during the Q&A. And you do this by stating your question or comment in the Zoom chat window. And we apologize in advance if we don't have enough time to address all questions and comments, but we're going to try to. Then after that, we'll have a period of time which we've called cohort Zoom mingle in breakout rooms by college. We have set up 10 small breakout rooms. There's about 100 people in this meeting, and so that's each breakout room will have around 10 people in it. And that's one or more breakout rooms for each of the 4 core fall start colleges: Cal, Crown, Merrill, Porter. And at that point, you should have had a pre-assigned breakout room as part of joining this Zoom meeting, and we'll invite you to join your pre-assigned breakout room and Zoom mingle with your CSP students. In particular, as I mentioned earlier, some second-year CSP students may also be present in your breakout room. There will be a staff or faculty member in some, we're hoping for all, of the breakout rooms to answer questions about the program that might come up. And as I mentioned, each of the breakout rooms, our intention is that we'll include 1 or more CSP students from earlier years. And so they can help you a little bit of mentoring by giving you an opportunity to ask them questions about their experiences in the College Scholars Program. And then the last item will be a return to the full meeting from the breakout rooms. At this point, the faculty and staff will no longer be participating. And as I said before, some second-year CSP students will join, and this will give you a chance to talk with them about how to make best use of your CSP opportunities. And at this point, you might wish to discuss methods for staying in touch with other CSP students in your college and more broadly. For instance, this would be a good moment to consider setting up Discord channels, one for each college, plus an overall CSP channel, and that would be a good way to stay in touch and to share information and ask questions of each other. And then lastly, following this meeting, we'll invite you to complete a survey. You'll get an email message in which you can, and it'll have a URL to go to, in which you can tell us what went well in this meeting and what needs improving. And that's the end of my presentation for now. So I pass things back to Dawn.
Great, thank you, David. What I'd like to do before I start the program overview and expectations is to have a chance for the faculty members who are present and part of the College Scholar Program community to introduce themselves, say a little bit about their areas of interest, their role in the College Scholar Program. And I'd like, David, if you could share your screen with that initial list of faculty members. And then I'd like to use that list to go down in sequence. There are some, there may be some faculty members who are here who aren't on that list. And if so, I'd love to invite them to just follow by giving a little bit of an introduction about themselves.
That sounds great, Don. So let me go to the relevant page. I think that's what you want.
That is exactly, yeah, that's it. So let's take a moment to invite each one of these faculty members to introduce themselves to the community, and we'll start with Elizabeth.
Hi, everybody. I'm Elizabeth Abrams, and as you can see, I'm alphabetically privileged to begin this list. I am the provost of Merrill College. I'm also a faculty member in the writing program at UCSC, where I'm a senior teaching professor in the writing program. I've been at UCSC for about 20 years. And I'm originally from California. I grew up just over the hill and went to Cal, Berkeley, for my undergraduate years. My relationship to the CSP program is as a proud host of many classes of CSP participants. I was a co-initiator and for several years director of one of the predecessor programs for CSP, which was called the Challenge Program. And I've really been a tremendous supporter of this program from the beginning. I think it's a spectacular program, gives great opportunities to wonderful students. And I've really enjoyed seeing the progress of the students who have participated in these programs over time. Welcome and enjoy this year.
Thank you for that.
David, are you here? Would you like to?
Oh, yes. Yes, I'm here. I'm here. Good morning, everyone. So I'm David Bernick. I'm a member of the biomolecular engineering faculty. I'm also affiliated with Crown College. I am a synthetic biologist and in a timely sort of way, a virologist. One of the courses that I teach and the one that the seminar that I teach for the Scholars Program is one on extreme life and specifically extreme environmental virology. It happens that today actually is the first day that we will go on a field trip. So I'm taking about a third of the class today. And so we're going out to Fremont and we will be sampling from an extreme salt location. And then from that extracting viruses that are present and studying the DNA that is encased in the virions that are present in those viruses. I will say that last fall, we took a special topic on pandemics, and the specific virus that we picked at that point, and remember this is fall, happened to be the coronavirus. And one of the things that we were examining was the 2003 SARS event that happened with the coronavirus. I don't think any of us had any belief what would be coming upon us in a very short number of months. But I will say that of all of the students who were involved at that time, that particular session is, I have heard from a number of students, has been quite memorable and has been truly echoing in an academic sense through all of our work going forward. I've been affiliated with the honors program for, gosh, I don't know how many years. Maybe Manel will remember. It's at least 5 years, and absolutely love it. So welcome everyone, and it's great to see the new class.
Thank you, David. Manel, would you like to?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi.
Would you like to speak next?
Yes, my name is Manel Camps. I've been at UCSC for 13 years, and I've been serving as provost of Crown for coming on to 6 years now. And I absolutely love it. So what we do well, Crown has a focus on STEM, and we've been working very closely with the College Scholars Program. We have two types of offerings in terms of classes. One line has to do with entrepreneurship. So we have two classes that introduce you to entrepreneurial concepts. One of them is Crown 90, the other one is Crown 92, and both are taught by Nada, who's here with us. And then they are connected with a service learning program in the city where students help local businesses adapt to the post-pandemic world. So as you know, with the pandemic, foot traffic has plummeted, and businesses, if they want to continue to survive, they have to adapt to e-commerce, to the virtual world, and that's what our students are helping them to do. In addition to that, we have a class in computational modeling that's taught by Peter Rothman, that's here in the audience today. And we also have a class in computational biology. And we also have a few classes on transferable skills, one of which is on videography. So I'm affiliated with microbiology and environmental toxicology, and there I study the evolution of antibiotic resistance and also plasmid biology. And I welcome you all. We're very excited to work with you this year.
Thanks very much, Manel. Ben? Well, perhaps Ben is not here with us today. Ben leads Carson. And Gerald, as I mentioned, is unavailable. Alan, are you there? And would you like to say a few words?
I am here. I even have a Ben Carson imitation that I do, but I'll just go for myself. I'll just quickly say Ben is a baritone music composer who's a dedicated provost at Kresge, and you would do well to have a class from him or talk to him at some point in time. He's a cherished member of the Council of Provosts. Excuse me, I'm Alan Christie. I'm the provost of Cal College. Excuse me. I'm starting my 5th year as provost and my 25th year teaching here at the university. I teach in the history department, and I'm a specialist in Japanese and East Asian history. Going through the bio slides, I see that a lot of you have interests in Japanese animation and popular culture. So I think I'll drop in that I'm working with a professor in the game design major, Nathan Altice, to develop a co-taught class in history and game design on gaming Japanese history. So we're going to be thinking about how game designers and historians can help each other think in new ways about the work that they do. And we're going to be doing it through designing games and playing games that sort of reenact or explore Japanese history. So that's going to be coming up in probably in the spring of 2022, I think. So a little over a year from now. So yes, I have taught in this program before a class on the nuclear Pacific, in which we looked at a variety of ways that nuclear technology, the use of the atomic bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, but also the testing that happened in the Marshall Islands and the testing in the American West, also the development of nuclear medicine, nuclear politics, literature and whatnot. So I explored how you can take one particular subject like nuclear power in a region and you can explore it in politics, in music, in art, in history, in science, of course. And so that's the kind of thing I've done in the past. I don't know when I'll teach that class next, but I think it's a decent example of some of the kinds of things that happen in these seminars. And then lastly, I'll say I run a student and faculty staff collaborative project in Okinawa called the Okinawa Memories Initiative, in which lots of students coming from all kinds of majors, we're looking for marine biology folks because coral reefs there are a big issue these days. So if you're interested in finding out more, drop me a line. Just look me up at Cal College homepage or use the people directory in the UCSC homepage to find me. And welcome, good luck.
All right, thank you so much, Alan. David Lau. David, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. My name is David Lau. I am an instructor in the College Scholars Program, and I've been with the program, I think, for the last 6 years. I taught in it first when it was the challenge program. I teach a course called Culture After Google, which is a mixture of the history of the internet, a sociological analysis of the internet today, and also a kind of history of contemporary technologies, everything from blockchain to machine learning algorithms, to 3D printing. And the other thing that the class deals with is contemporary art, fiction, poetry, and drama, and the way that contemporary writers and artists are depicting, making use of kind of part of the mix of the way that technologies are today represented and articulated. My background is as a literary scholar. I'm also a poet, and I've been at UC Santa Cruz teaching in the literature department and for College 9 and Porter College since 2005. It's very great to meet everybody. I'm really looking forward to teaching the Culture After Google class this winter quarter. Last year we had a great group of students, STEM backgrounds, some who were coming from humanities and social science backgrounds. And so we had really interesting conversations, and we really did learn a lot from each other in a collaborative seminar mode. So yeah, I hope to have something like that happen again this winter. Great to meet everybody.
Thank you, David. Nada, would you like to say a few things?
I would. Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to be here today and to meet all of the new college scholar participants for 2021. This is my third year teaching, and I have to say, in this program, it's y'all are my favorite students. I love teaching with you all. I teach, as Manel said, a startup class. I'm going to put it in the Zoom chat if anybody wants to see the website for the class. We go through from the beginning of having an initial idea and putting it through some rigorous science methodology. That is, we create some hypotheses and we gather data through interviews, talking to experts and potential clients, customers of this business idea that you're working on. We work in groups in a collaborative, very collaborative way. And it's been very successful. I had a student tell me the other day from last winter, this class is taught in the winter, that she would never have guessed that the work and the things that she learned in my class would lead directly to a paying job. She's been making money from learning and using the startup methodology that we went through in the class. And so even if you're not somebody who is an entrepreneur, maybe you're going to be somebody who's attracted to that kind of culture and want to work on a startup in your post-college years. And so I invite everybody. We have all kinds of students from all over the colleges and disciplines join us. You don't have to be a computer scientist. You don't have to be an economist. You can be, we have psychology and just the whole spectrum of students that come in, and I think it's a really great class, and I really look forward to teaching it this winter. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me at nada@ucsc.edu, and I'll put that in the chat. And I just want to say, I see a couple of my students here. It's really great to see you.
Oops, the old unmute trick. Looks like I'm next on the list. I'm Matt O'Hara. Welcome, everyone. Hello. I'm the provost at Stevenson College. Like Alan, I'm also a professor in history, Just briefly, my research up to now has been on early Mexico, colonial Mexico, 16th to 19th century, religion and politics and associated things. And now I'm working on a project related to US pharmaceutical companies and their work in the Amazon in the mid 20th century, trying to turn forest products into drugs and some of the interactions that went on there with local peoples. I'm also here in a way because I used to be in David's role, helping to run College Scholars along with Don and Hayden and some of these other great people here, and know a lot of the instructors because of that. And I'll keep my comments brief, but there was a thread in the chat about what do provosts do, right? It was a really good question. What these funny titles. And that was described pretty nicely by Manel and some other people. We oversee academic programs in the colleges. And so that's our connection in a way to CSP. But something that provosts also do is to try to help you, our students in the colleges, make connections on campus to opportunities, sometimes scholarship opportunities, sometimes workshops, sometimes meeting other faculty, getting involved in research teams, what have you. And I bring that up because I want you to know that, but also because that's really what the College Scholars Program is sort of meant to do. And you've heard from all of these great people and the different connections that both in their classes and otherwise that they're here to try to help you make. So I just wanted to make that pitch and again say welcome to all of you, and please feel free to reach out to me by email, or we could set up a Zoom and chat. Look forward to meeting you all this year.
Thank you, Matt. Peter Rockman, would you like to say a few words?
Sure, yes, hi. I'm here in Jamaica. Not really.
Ah.
Not really. This is my favorite place in the world, except for the UCSC campus. So first, I just want to say thanks. Manel and Matt originally invited me to be part of this. So I just want to say thank you to them. And I'm an alumni also of Santa Cruz, UC Santa Cruz, Porter College. I won't say what year. It was a long time ago. But now I'm teaching this class, Computational Futurology at Crown. And we build mathematical models of various types. And it's a project class. So everyone, well, you're thrown into a group with some people you don't know, and you have to build something amazing. That's the basic idea there. And we build models of human activity, whether individuals or groups, societies mostly, social interactions of humans in the world. And we're looking at socially relevant kinds of applications. We also talk about how people might use these ideas against us, either to sell us things or to manipulate us politically. This is the fourth year I've done it now. And I think I've kind of finally figured out what I'm doing. It took me 4 years now, but it's very different. Every year I learn something amazing from the students. It's really been eye-opening. Wow. All the different people that have come through my class, they're so brilliant. So it's a little humbling to me. But we build regression models. Some people build games. We build some serious games, and I consider those to be models of situations. We try and have fun with it, and the end result hopefully is a portfolio project that you can show to people, like Nada. Hi Nada, by the way. That you could take and show to people in your future and say, hey, here's something I actually did. Previous years people have looked at sex education, healthcare access, settlement of Mars, and the social aspect of that. People have built board games. 2 years ago, one group in my class built a really simple regression model that predicted the House midterm election outcome within 5 seats. That was a pretty good result. And we've done some studies of political gerrymandering, and this year, of course, it's COVID-19 and epidemic modeling. I'll be talking about that quite a bit. What else? We do role playing. We're doing Delphi. I know that our host is from Rand Corporation, which is, I mentioned Rand Corporation twice in my first lecture, so I'll just throw that out. But we're going to do some Delphi method stuff and this is the first year I'm doing this, but the students are all making predictions. And then we're going to measure our ability to make accurate predictions of the future. So anyway, that's it. Computational futurology at Crown 88. Check it out. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mike Rotkin. I've been at UCSC since 1969. I probably have the record here in the group. I started as a graduate student in the History of Consciousness program where I got my PhD. I wrote my dissertation on the history, contemporary history of Santa Cruz, the history of the progressive movement between 1970 and 1982, when I became mayor for the first time. I've been the mayor of Santa Cruz 5 times. I was forced into retirement in 2011, but since been rehired part-time to teach in Merrill College, mainly through this program, but also some other courses. I'm a community activist, and basically the classes that I teach are related to politics and history, sociology, very much interdisciplinary courses. And I've been teaching in this program for several years now, and I really, as others have said, I really enjoy teaching students in this program because I think generally they come to class prepared to be serious students. I like the fact that in the classes, I have students who come from every different major, and it's not just students who have traditionally studied politics or sociology, a lot of natural science students, STEM students, and so forth. And all of my classes include internships where students actually get out into the world and do some practical work. That's become challenging under COVID-19 conditions. And most of my students now are doing online internships, which has taken a lot more work to organize than organizing a placement in Santa Cruz, where I know what the options are a lot more easily. So I have students as far away as China this quarter in my class. And my class is kind of a 3-ring circus. It's an introduction to the methodology of participant observation, which was originally an anthropological method, but that's now pretty much spread out through the social sciences, where people go out and work as activists, but also think critically about the work that they're doing. The other part of the class is the history and politics of Santa Cruz and how Santa Cruz went from being one of the most conservative cities in California to one of the most progressive. And it's a very interesting story. Students get, I think, engaged in that. It's also a class about community organizing, and which is part of how that process took place. It wasn't simply a shift in the consciousness of people in the abstract, but organizing work that people did in this community. As I said, I particularly like teaching courses in this program because I have students who come to class prepared to do serious critical reading and engage with each other, and they come from very different perspectives. The students in the class don't necessarily share my politics, and it's fine. We have an opportunity to try and work with each other and understand each other's perspective and develop a kind of more collective view of the history of Santa Cruz and what's going on here politically. A lot of my work is after students have been in my class or other classes to prepare them, doing individual studies with students who are working with community organizations of one kind or another. And some of my students are working, involved in responding to the crisis of the fire here in Santa Cruz, but also the COVID-19 crisis and the political crisis that we're facing in our country, both at the national level, but also the issue of race and other questions that we're confronting generally across this country. So this is an exciting class for me. I don't tell my provost all this, she's on the line here, but you know, I would teach this class for free if I weren't being paid for it. But thankfully they gave me a little bit of money on the side, and I do appreciate that deeply. So I look forward to my class. My class just started earlier this week, and I'm looking forward to this class and teaching it again next year, I hope. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mike. Apologies for not having your name on this list initially. We had drawn the line at people who RSVP'd, but it's great to see that you were on the call and I was able to edit the file. So you're back.
Better late than never.
Kiva?
Better late than never.
That's right.
Thank you.
Kiva, would you like to say
Sure.
some words?
Sure. Hi, everyone. Welcome, everybody. My name is Kiva Silver. I am a affiliated with Stevenson College. I teach College 1 in fall and winter. I'm also part of the history department where I teach European history. I'm trained in European history, and I also teach for the writing program. So I have 3 appointments here at UC Santa Cruz. I guess 4 if you count the College Scholars Program. I taught Stevenson 43 last year for the CSP, and Stevenson 43 is a course in comparative nationalisms. So we look at contemporary nationalist movements, of which there are many, in my view, unfortunately. And we seek to understand these contemporary nationalist movements in a global perspective historically, but also by reading some of the classical works in nationalism studies, Benedict Anderson's Imagined Communities, among other works. So there are a whole variety of contemporary nationalist movements, whether we're talking about Hindu nationalism in India or kind of the state-centered official nationalism in China, or kind of race-based nationalist movements like white nationalism in the United States, which unfortunately is quite resurgent. And so there are anti-immigrant nationalisms in Europe. And so students in this course, Stevenson 43, which I'm teaching in the winter, have a lot of flexibility in terms of which contemporary nationalist movements they really want to delve into to understand. And then my role is to help guide students' research projects to try to understand their contemporary nationalist movement that they're interested in from a historical perspective, from a comparative perspective, and by reading, as I say, some of the more canonical or classical work in nationalism studies. So it's a highly relevant course, as I said, which I suppose is unfortunate, but it makes it interesting and it's a pleasure to teach. And I look forward to meeting everybody. Again, that's Stevenson 43, and that will be in winter quarter. And that's it. All right, everybody, welcome.
Thank you very much for that. Don?
Yes, I wanted to invite any other faculty or instructors that haven't yet spoken. And Kathleen Greeny messaged me, and I wanted to welcome Kathleen. Go ahead.
Oh, hi, everyone. My name's Katie Greeny, and I'm affiliated with Crown College, although I have a long history with UC Santa Cruz. I was part of the community studies program and actually had Mike Rotkin, I see on the line, as my advisor back in 2005. And then I went on to do the social documentation program at UC Santa Cruz, the master's program. So now I'm teaching a course with Crown College that is called Storytelling in a Digital Age. And the course is actually running right now in the fall. And I'm giving students the opportunity to work on several different types of digital stories. We're kind of going through the history of storytelling, and students have the opportunity to create 3 projects throughout the quarter. A personal project, a character-driven project, and then a topical project that they work on as a group. And so it's really very exciting to see the projects coming out of that course and just to form the community that we do. This will be my 2nd time teaching it through Zoom, and it's worked really well. Actually, I feel like it's there are some aspects that are easier, and we've still managed to spend oh, my 6-year-old is trying to get on the screen with me. We're just going to give a minute. But yeah, we've still managed to form a really tight community, and all the students from my class have kept in touch and become very close friends and collaborators on future projects. So I invite you all to look out for that. And I see a couple of the students from that course on the line now. So good to see you. And yeah, thank you. I'm glad to see all the scholars. In the past, this is my 3rd time, as I said, but I've never seen the room full of scholars yet. So this is fun to see everyone together. Thank you.
I am trying to scramble to get Katie on the file as well, and it looks like I'll be able to do that in a moment. 1 second. I would like also to invite Stacy Skeeto Rosner to take part if she's on the line. Stacy, are you there? She's an important part of the administration of this program. So, okay, Katie, there you are as well. Thank you very much for that. Back to Don for the next phase of this meeting.
Great, thank you, David. And thank you to all of the faculty and instructors for an amazing introduction, and certainly has stimulated a lot of interest among the students. And I wanted to go over the program more generally, but wanted to start off by saying in this meeting, you're getting a sense of the amazing work and areas of interest that faculty and instructors have on campus. And as Matt O'Hara mentioned, we really want to impress upon all of you the opportunities that are available. And one of those, the starting points to really broadening and deepening your engagement with your academic experience here at UCSC is meeting and creating important academic and mentoring relationships with the faculty that are here at UCSC. So I wanted to just sort of reiterate, emphasize, and spring off of that to introduce an overview of the College Scholars Program, and then some expectations that we have for each of the participants in that program. So I'm going to share my screen all to the website for the College Scholars Program on the honors.ucsc.edu webpage. So on this webpage, you notice that up at the top, there are a number of aspects of undergraduate honors that I help coordinate, one of which is the honors programs and the College Scholars Program in particular. And this introductory slide really is the information that I'm going to be covering. So the College Scholars Program offers a stimulating academic home for high achieving first year students. The program has close ties with all of the colleges, but in the fall, where we have a particular cohort known as the Fall Start cohort, of which all of you incoming college scholars are part of. The program begins with the 4 colleges: Crown, Cowell, Merrill, and Porter. And today you'll have a chance to meet and to talk with these amazing and distinguished faculty and instructors in our breakout sessions that are going to follow this brief overview. So the program includes special courses, events, seminars, and a faculty research colloquium throughout your first 4 quarters. There'll be lots of opportunities for you to engage more deeply into various academic fields. In this first quarter, you'll be attending a special discussion event. Perhaps David may be able to speak briefly about it, or we can certainly, we'll be sending out information about this discussion event this quarter. But there are no formal courses that you need to register for associated with the College Scholars Program. I'm going to click on this link to show you the PDF of our program curriculum summary. And this outline really is fairly broad. It doesn't necessarily give specific information about courses in your first academic year. So this special event that'll be happening in fall, you'll get more information, is really a supplement to your college core course. In winter, as was mentioned previously, there is a required 2-unit course, the Service Learning course, Cowell 168, that all of you will be registering for. There is also at this time in winter a chance for students who are not Fall Start cohorts, but students who are members of the UCSC community, undergraduate students, to apply to become a college scholar in spring. And so this application is going to be on this honors website. If you happen to have friends, talk about the College Scholars, and they're interested in joining the College Scholars, they can fill out an application. It gets reviewed by each of the colleges that they're affiliated with, and they'll have an opportunity to become part of the Spring Start cohort in the College Scholars program. In spring, both the fall and spring cohorts of students are required to enroll in a faculty research colloquium. This is a 2-credit course, and it is really going to be a chance for you to hear from various faculty members about their research across the campus. Undergraduate research is something that's one of our focal points for the College Scholars program, and we encourage each and every one of you to consider exploring undergraduate research opportunities to deepen your engagement with your academic experience here at UCSC. And if and when we're back in person, the spring faculty research colloquium is accompanied by a colloquium dinner where select members of the faculty meet with students in an in-person environment. Let's cross our fingers that will happen this year. And then it is a 4-quarter program. So the first 3 quarters, your first academic year, are outlined here. And then in the fall quarter of your second year, there'll be opportunities for you to enroll in a seminar, a GE satisfying seminar. These seminar topics vary. Some of them are listed here, and you've heard from some of the instructors that teach these seminar classes. We have expanded where some of those seminar classes are also offered in the winter of the academic year as well. So this is sort of a brief overview of the program. Throughout the program, of course, each and every one of you has what is known as priority enrollment. This allows you to receive an earlier appointment time than your fellow incoming students, first-year students, so that you have a chance to register for your next quarter's class at an earlier appointment time. This is one of the benefits that many college scholars have appreciated. It really does allow them to progress by getting into courses that they're especially interested in at an earlier opportunity. But in addition, you'll have the opportunity to interact closely with both your college provost and faculty members from across the campus. And we hope that you'll take advantage of these opportunities to establish a better understanding of what undergraduate research is, what opportunities you have to participate in undergraduate research, and just to expand your areas of academic interest. You will be eventually asked to choose a major or majors, fields of interest that you'd like to focus on for your 4 years. But I often find that the whole understanding of majors and somewhat of the limitations when we talk about majors doesn't fully encapsulate a student's wider interest in areas that they'd like to learn more about. So keep in mind that undergraduate research isn't limited to just those faculty members in your major. Essentially, it's any work performed by an undergraduate major or undergraduate student in any major across campus that contributes to a greater understanding of their particular field. So with those privileges, there are some responsibilities, and these are the following. First, when we reach out to you regarding a College Scholars Program activity, we just ask that you respond in a timely manner by email so that we can hear back from you. We expect that you'll make a sincere effort to be engaged in all of the College Scholar Program activities, discussions, and events. We also expect that you practice UCSC's principles of community, and essentially those are to support every person in an atmosphere of civility, honesty, cooperation, professionalism, and fairness. And as part of your efforts to move as quickly as possible into exploring undergraduate research or some other academic engagement activity, we expect you to begin looking for faculty mentoring opportunities while you're in the program, and to find at least one such mentor by the end of spring quarter. So how do you go about doing that? It really begins with meeting and engaging with faculty. So attending office hours, meeting by appointment, sharing your academic interests and your enthusiasm for learning, asking questions, and take advantage of the opportunities available to you. Faculty do want to get to know you, and they want to support your academic goals. All right, so that was my pitch for the College Scholars Program, and hopefully give you a little better idea. If at any time you have questions, we invite you to add those questions to the chat, and we'll take some time to answer those questions. And then after that, we'll go ahead and break into breakout rooms. So do you have any questions that you'd like to ask any of us? Yeah, so I've got a message from the provost of Merrill, Elizabeth Abrams, and we are recording. We will be posting this on the honors.ucsc.edu website under the College Scholars pages. And once it is posted, we'll send out a notice to all of the participants, faculty and provosts and instructors of the College Scholars Program, that the recording is posted, so those to view it and see what we talk about. Any other questions?
Don, just to say
Yes.
that I do wish to share the tentative plans for the 2 special events this year.
Great.
And I'm in the process of adding that to the file that I have displayed so far. Not quite done yet, so I'm going to keep working on that while we go into the next phase, and then we'll come back from that and I'll display that slide.
All right. So David Bernick just added to the chat that he's needing to head out for his field trip. David, good luck. And I hope you collect all the samples and data that you're looking for. It's very exciting. This is an example of, even in the pandemic, there are still in-person research activities that are going on. And of course, they're going on with all of the pandemic safety guidelines and precautions, so that that the people that are performing them are still practicing all of those to remain safe. Adrian writes, are we committing to taking part in this program for all 4 years? That is our eventual goal, is to expand the College Scholars Program for a 4-year type of program. Currently, it's only a 4-quarter program, but the experience that you gain in the College Scholars Program is going to enable you to hopefully progress into some undergraduate opportunities, or have some strong background foundational experiences to get into undergraduate research, or to apply for scholarships and to move forward. One of the programs that we're looking forward to providing for our college scholars is part of the a program called the Correct Scholars Program and the Correct Scholarships. And those scholarships are to support undergraduate students who have developed a research project with a faculty mentor, and they can apply for a scholarship funding for that undergraduate research. So you can look at Correct Scholars on the UCSC website to get more information about that. Technical question about editing my name and adding my affiliation that Joel asks. I think you can, as someone else responded to that, you can do that by clicking over your window or your name in the window that you see in the Zoom box, and there should be a ... and you can click on that, and I think you can edit your name as it shows on the Zoom display. All right, so if there aren't any other questions, and I'm sure there probably will be, our next activity is to break up into some smaller breakout rooms based on college. And that will be a perfect time for you to interact, engage, create discussions with the other members of your breakout room. And those other members may well include a provost, other faculty instructors, and it may include some continuing students. So before we break out into those rooms, I'd like to ask that as you go into the rooms, wait a moment until everybody enters, and then for those faculty members and continuing students that are present, take a moment to introduce yourself or reintroduce yourself to the other members of your group. And we'll have a bit of time for this activity. So looking at our agenda, we have about 20 minutes or so until we get close to our 11:30 ending time. So between now and then, you'll have a chance to mingle, ask questions, and maybe get some tips and suggestions from participants and faculty here at UCSC. I'm going to pass it on to Jack. And Jack, could you go ahead and start those breakout rooms?
Yeah, thank you, Don. Okay, so everyone, I'll be starting the breakout rooms shortly, and you should be sent over to them immediately in a few seconds. If you're still in the main room right after that, please contact me and I can get you sorted in. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, and 1. All right, we have plenty of people who are going to be sticking around and I'll help sort out your problems. All right, so I see that many of you have written in before your name the college you want to go into. Perfect, thank you. And I will sort you in accordingly. Okay, a bunch of cowls, great, thank you. Crown, perfect. And I've also enabled the ability for people to self-select the breakout room. So at the bottom of your screen, if you could help me out real quick, there should be a breakout room button on your screens. You can choose the one to go into by yourself, but if you're unable to do that, you can also contact me, send me a private message, or rename yourself, and I will sort you in accordingly. Okay, cowl, thank you to those who have done so. It's very appreciative, helps speed things along greatly. Okay, and Chantel to crown, perfect, thank you. All right, and okay, we have a couple left. Oh, you need, okay, continuing students. Oh yeah, sure. You can join any breakout room, College 9. We don't have a College 9 room today, but you feel free to join any room that is underpopulated or you think might be appreciative of your experience and expertise. Okay, Adaku, I don't see the option for choosing self-selecting breakout rooms. Perfect. Okay, and you are from Oaks. Adaku, where would you like to go to today? I could send you into any room if you're unable to use the breakout rooms button. And as for the rest of you, please feel free to send me a private message and I can sort you in. Okay.
I don't have the option either. Can you just put me in any breakout room?
Gotcha. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
All right. Ashley, any group is fine. Thank you. Okay. And let's see. Any is fine for Mia. Perfect. Thank you. And now we're just down to Laurel. Laurel, if you would like to, I can send you in wherever you need. Let me know.
Good doing anything. Yeah.
Before you go, Laurel, can I just say hi? Laurel is our CUIP intern this year. And this is sort of our first face-to-face that I've met Laurel. As I messaged you, Laurel, or chatted with you, you're welcome to stay here and hang out with David and I, or you're welcome to go into any of the breakout rooms and you know, interact with some of the college scholars.
Okay, yeah. Would in the breakout rooms, would it be like helpful for me to observe kind of what's going on there? Do you think it would help me get a better understanding of the whole program as a whole? Or yeah, I'm good, whatever you think would be most helpful for my
Yeah, I'd love you to join. One of the reasons is for you to get a chance to interact with faculty and students in the program. You certainly can ask questions. You might be interested in finding out more about what their expectations are, or if your breakout room has a continuing student, what they felt about the College Scholars Program. And secondly, it will also, actually, now I can't think of the other thing that I was thinking about, but it would, I think it would be helpful to have you join a breakout room and just get a feel for what it's like. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. You can just place me in any breakout room, doesn't matter.
Great. Good to see you.
Okay, that looks like it's everyone. It's just us three left in the main room. Would you like to be split up? I think at the bottom of your screen, you can probably choose a room you want to go into if you like. You're muted, by the way.
Thank you. I'll probably join in just a bit. I just wanted to have a chance to breathe a little bit. It goes so quickly, and it's juggling a lot. So Jack, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you being here and being able to facilitate the breakout rooms. It really is an amazing service, and you're really, I just, from my experience in the breakout room, I was just so pleased to get a chance to talk with some students. One of the continuing college scholars was there facilitating a discussion and answering questions. So I wanted to give a big shout out to everyone participating. And I hope that your breakout room experience was valuable.
So Don mentioned special events for CSP students this year. We have two exciting things that are shaping up really well. I still have to use the word tentative in the title here, but it's 99% that these are both going to happen. So we're going to have a Zoom town hall with Q&A with Professor William Davis of Goldsmith College, University of London, based on his extremely timely and interesting book, Nervous States, Democracy and the Decline of Reason. He's basically charting the history of rationality as the basis for political discourse for hundreds of years, starting in the 1600s, and how that has been breaking down completely, as you can well know, living in America over the last umpteen years. We are going to be mailing 3 books to all of you by postal mail. Also a book by Tommy Orange about the Native American experience called They're There, and Margaret Atwood's book, The Testaments. So you'll be receiving these 3 books by postal mail soon. If you actually responded to Hayden's email and gave us your postal address, if you didn't, we won't be able to send the books to you. So please, if you haven't written back to Hayden and given your postal address, please do so. And then that's right before the election. The tentative date for the Zoom town hall with Professor Davis. And then right afterward, the election, we are lining up a Zoom meeting consisting of a conversation with Professor Davis and Ezra Klein, UC alumnus, co-founder and editor-at-large of Vox, on topics arising from Davis's book and other related political subjects, also followed by a Q&A. And that's going to happen on the Saturday, the 5th of December in the morning, just after the election. And the fall start colleges will probably, several have already confirmed they will, be organizing CSP reading groups meetings around these books in fall or winter and or spring. Does anybody have any questions about the special events that are planned?
Yeah, just it says they're December 5th. Do you mean November? If we're talking just after the election?
No, I do mean the 5th of December.
Okay.
I shouldn't probably have used the word just.
Okay.
But I note with dismay that it very well may be on Saturday, the 5th of December, that we don't have any idea who won. So it's going to be pretty interesting.
I was just
Thank
going to say that election will not be over on December 5th, probably. We'll be in the Supreme Court somewhere arguing about it.
Yeah. Let's see. Is there a way to make sure that we replied with your address for the book mailing? Well, look in your email and see if you sent it back. Search on Hayden, Hayden, and see if you got a message from Hayden. And if so, did you reply to it? I should say also that this stuff is in collaboration with a thing on campus called the Humanities Institute, which is a fantastic organization. And they are going to be focusing on Tommy Orange's book, They're There, as the main book for their work in the Humanities Institute. The Handmaid's Tale and the Testaments are more optional than the Davis book and They're There, in the sense that we will not be having reading groups about Atwood this year. We had them last year, but if I could make an editorial comment, the Handmaid's Tale as a novel is a lot better than the Testaments. And so I'm sorry that we're sending you the inferior book, but if you had only time to read one of Atwood's books about her dystopia, I would recommend using the Testaments as a doorstop and getting your own copy of The Handmaid's Tale. Any other questions? Don has given us very nice information. Email Hayden at undergraduate research honors, UR_honors, HNRS at UCSC.edu. Please unmute yourself and ask a question if I haven't answered all the questions arising from my slide. Yes, the Testaments is the sequel to The Handmaid's Tale. That's exactly right.
I have a question.
Yes.
It's not about the tentative special event, but it's just in general for our second year. So you mentioned that the 5-credit general ed could either be taken fall or winter quarter, right?
Yes, there are options in both quarters.
So if my question is, if we have to take the winter quarter one, do we still get like the enrollment priority, or is it just after we don't get it after our first year?
Right, so priority enrollment is just for the 4 quarters of the College Scholars Program.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll have priority enrollment for the fall, but you won't have it for winter.
I see, thank you.
But
you're welcome.
But you do have priority for that course, I think, in the winter quarter itself. I mean, only members of the program are allowed into those seminars.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, if that class is restricted to college scholars, then you will have that form of priority, exactly.
If I could make one more comment before we close, I have to say that with the exception of not being able to offer you food, I think this year's event was actually sharply superior to last year's. I think we were able to convey a lot more information. This meeting is being recorded, and we'll be posting my slides and the recording. Where are we going to put those, Don? Do we have a plan for that yet?
They're going to be on the College Scholars web page in the honors.ucsc.edu, and I'll send out a notice to the College Scholar community once those are posted and available.
Jessica asks, is there a class or something else we need to enroll in or participate in for this quarter? I believe the answer is no. Is that right, Don?
For the incoming students, excuse me, for the incoming students, no. There's no credit-bearing course that you need to enroll in. For continuing college scholars, yes, it's one of the 5-unit GE satisfying college scholar seminars.
Any last questions before we wrap
I
up?
have a question. So I'm a second year right now, so I'm enrolled in the seminar, And after that, would there be anything else we would need to do, or can we still participate in some events that you hold, or like what happens after that?
Well, we'll be inviting you to both of the special events for this year, as we will also be inviting all previous CSP students who are still at UCSC. Don, do you want to say anything else?
Well, I think that's an excellent question. And Jasmine, I'm so pleased to hear that you're interested in continuing with being involved with this College Scholars Program. That is actually our fervent desire, is for the College Scholars Program to build and to eventually be a longer program than it currently is. One of the things I can say is that when you're filling out applications for programs or talking with faculty, let them know that you are a College Scholars participant. That is going to be something that you can include in any discussion, and even after graduating on a resume, for example. I would also consider, as you develop relationships with faculty members through the program, to continue to keep in touch with those faculty members. It's a great opportunity for strong letters of recommendation when you've built a strong mentorship relationship successfully with a faculty member that can be helpful after graduating and whatever path you'd like to take. And then there's the Correct Scholarship Program for supporting undergraduate research. So if you do consider doing undergraduate research as you progress, consider applying for the Correct Scholarship Program. A lot of our continuing college scholars participate in that and get those scholarships.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. You're very welcome. So David,
Shall we draw it to a close?
Yeah, I think we should
draw it to a
close.
close, Don?
Yep. Do you want to do that?
Yep. Okay, everyone, thanks so much for participating. And I hope you have sufficient information to get in touch with any of us that you may wish to do so for the purpose of getting more information or answers to questions. So thanks again, and we'll shut things down now.
Oh,
bye for me.
David? Yeah. So
yes.
What I did want to tell everybody is that this meeting is going to, or at least this space is going to remain open for any of you that would like to remain. We are going to be departing, that is David and myself, and I'll also ask provosts and other faculty members to allow there to be a student shared space so that students can engage with each other, ask, comment, feel a little bit more free to share your thoughts, questions, or concerns with other students. So with that said, thank you all, and we look forward to engaging with you this upcoming academic year, and good luck in your first quarter.
If you guys found the idea of setting up Discord channels, this would be a good time for people at each college to organize that. And maybe if someone could also, if you want, organize a fifth channel for general CSP, that would be great too. So bye for me. Hope to meet a number of you in person in the future.
And bye from me and our Zoom core specialist, Jack, is going to remain keeping this venue open for, I don't know, maybe another 15 minutes, something like that, Jack. I'll leave it in Jack's capable hands. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye now. Bye.